guys, welcome back to our channel. For this video, we will discuss about the 4 types of variation. The 4 types of variation is direct variation, joint variation, inverse variation, and combined variation. You will see later what are these and how to solve these kinds of variation. I hope you have fun with us learning math. Thank you, like and subscribe. Here we go! Hi guys, so as we said a while ago and as you heard a while ago, we will discuss the types of variation. There are 4 types of variation, but I will discuss the direct variation. So what is direct variation? In direct variation, that we let x and y denote 2 quantities. Y varies directly with x, or y is directly proportional to x. If there is non-zero number k such that y is equal to kx, the number of k is called the constant of proportionality of the constant of variation. Now I will give some example for you so that you can understand more about direct variation. So as I said a while ago, I will give you some examples about how to solve direct variation. So here's the example. If y varies directly as x and y is equal to 24 when x is equal to 6, find the value of y when x is equal to 15. So the first step we must do is that we need to write the equation of the variation. So what is the equation of direct variation? The equation of direct variation is y is equal to kx. After we write that, we proceed to step 2. For step 2, we solve for the k by substituting the values of y is equal to 24 and x is equal to 6 in the equation y is equal to kx. Y is equal to kx, and we substitute y is equal to 24, x is equal to 6, 24 is equal to k, 6. After substituting the values, we divide both sides by 6 to isolate k. After dividing, cancel, and we get k is equal to 4. Now we have the value of k. For the step 3, we replace k in the equation in step 1 by the obtained value in step 2. If k is equal to 4, y is equal to kx, y is equal to 4x. For step 4, we can now solve for y when x is equal to 15. So, if x is equal to 15, y is equal to kx, y is equal to 4 times 15, y is equal 4 times 15 is equal to 60. Therefore, y is equal to 60 when x is equal to 15.
And good afternoon, I am Vladimir Gonzalez and I am going to teach you how to do an inverse variation. First, what is an inverse variation? Well, an inverse variation is a mathematical relationship between two variables which can be expressed by an equation in which the product of two variables is equal to a constant. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how to do an inverse variation step by step. Let us try and solve the problem of inverse variation. Here's the problem. If x varies as y and x is equivalent to 7 when y is equivalent to 3, find y when x is equivalent to 9. Step 1. Write the correct equation using the equation y is equivalent to k over x. Step 2. Use the information given in the problem to find the value of k. In this case, you need to find k when x is equivalent to 7 and y is equivalent to 3. Step 3. Rewrite the equation or substitute the value of x and y. After you substitute the value of x and y, you multiply both sides by 7, or the value of x itself. After that, you cancel, then you get the value of k, which is 31 in this problem. Step 4. Use the equation found in step 3 and the remaining information given in the problem to answer the equation, as in this case, you need to find y when x is equivalent to 9. So you need to find y if x is equivalent to 9. So k is 21 and 9 is x. Now, if you reduce them by 3, you would get the value of y is 7/3. And that is how you can solve an inverse variation.
I'm going to teach you how to solve a joint variation. But first of all, what's a joint variation? A joint variation occurs when two or more variables are related directly or one variable changes with the change product of two or more variables. A joint variation is quite similar to a direct variation, but the variables for joint variations are more than 2. Now I'm gonna give an example on how to solve a joint variation. Now, this is the equation for a joint variation. Let's move on to the example. If y varies jointly as x and z, and y equals 12, when x equals 9 and z equals 3, find z when y equals 6 and x equals 15. Step 1 is to write down the correct equation. Step 2. Use the information given in the problem to find the value of k. In this case, you need to find k when y is 12, x is 9, and z is 3. Now, you multiply this to get 27. Now, to get k, to isolate k, you need to divide both sides with the same number. So you cancel this 2 out and simplify this. So you get 4/9. That's our k. In step 3, rewrite the same equation, but this time, put in value k. In step 4, substitute this and this, and multiply x to k, this, and you get 60. And then you subtract, and you subtract 6 to this. That's how you get 54. And now bring this down and do the same as you did here. You divide it in both sides to isolate z. Now you cancel both of this and simplify this to get z. That's all.
Hi guys! So, as you just saw, Miss Lian Che discussed joint variation. For now, I will discuss combined variation. So, what is combined variation? In combined variation, you let x, y, and z denote the three quantities. Y varies directly as x and inversely z. If there is some positive constant k such that y is equal to kx over z. The number k is the constant of the variation. So now let's move on to one example, and I will explain step by step how you will do the combined variation. A while ago, I will give example about combined variation so you would understand it more. So here's the example. Find the equation of combined variation in which y varies directly as x and inversely as z. One set of value is y is equal to 4, x is equal to 6, and z is equal to 3. Find y when x is equal to 15 and z is equal to 10. So for the first step that we will make, we need to write the equation of variation. The equation of combined variation is y is equal to kx is over z. For the step 2, we need to solve k by substituting the value of y is equal to 4, x is equal to 6 and z is equal to 3 in the equation. So y is equal to kx over z. And next step is we substitute. Y is equal to 4, x is equal to 6, and z is equal to 3. If we substitute it, it will become y is equal to k6 over 3. So what will we do now? For the first is we're gonna do cross multiplication. It's like this, like that, and like that. After cross multiplication, it will become 12 is equal to 6k. How will we get the value of k? We can get the value of k by dividing these both sides by 6, so that k will be the only one now. If we divide them, we will have the value 12 divided by 6 is equal to k is equal to 2. Once we get that, we can now proceed to step 4. So step 3. So what is step 3? When you're in the step 3, you will replace k in the equation in step 1 by the obtained value in step 2. So if k is equal to 2, then the equation will be y is equal to kx is over z. Y is equal to 2x over z. Now for the step 4, we can now solve for the value of y when x is equal to 15 and z is equal to 10. Y is equal to kx over z. Y is equal to 2 as the value of k, times 15 as the value of x, and over 10 as the value of z. When we solve that, 2 times 15 is equal to 30, divided by 10 is y is equal to 3. So that's how you solve for the combined variation.
Question for direct variation. If y varies directly as x and y is equal to 6, when x is equal to 4, find k, the constant of variation. Write an equation that represents the relationship between x and y. Find y when x is equal to 7 and find x when y is equal to 12. So the formula is y is equal to kx. Formula to x to y, so 6 is equal k times 4. To solve for k, let's divide it by 4. And we find it 1.5 is equal to k. 1.5 back to the direct variation. Direct variation formula. So y is equal to 1.55x. Next, we will find y. So x is equal to 7. Using your formula, y is equal to 1.5x. We substitute 7 to x. And we have y is equal to 1.5 times 7. Or y is equal to 10.5. Finally, we find x when y is equal to 12. Y is equal to 12. Y is equal to 1.5x. We substitute 12 for a y. And we have 12 is equal to 1.5. X and dividing by side 1.5. Now we find it 8 is equal to x. So that's all for direct variation. Hello, ang na-assign sa akin is make a question about inverse variation. Okay, so let's start. If y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 4, when x is equal to 6, find y if x is equal to 6. So I will write my formula. Y is equal to k over x. So y is 4 k while x is 6. And now I want to solve k. So I will multiply by both sides by 6. And 6 times 4 is 24. So my constant, my k is 24. Now we go to the next step. Y is equal to 24 over x. So I want to find y. So y is equal to 24 over 16. So y is equal to 24 and 16. They can be divided by 8. So 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3, and 6 divided by 8 is equal to 2. So the y is equal to 3 over 2, and that's it.
Good morning everyone, my name is Nico Atawa and I will be discussing combined variation. The problem that I will be using is, suppose that x varies directly as y squared and inversely as z, and x is equal to 36 and y is equal to 18 and z is equal to 5. Find x when y is equal to 9 and z is equal to 8. And our equation is x is equal to ky squared all over z. To solve for constant of variation, 36 is equal to k multiplied to 18 squared all over 5. After multiplying it will be 180 is equal to k 324, and 180 divided by 324, and our k is 0.56, and our equation of variation is x is equal to 0.56 y squared all over z. Next, find x when y is equal to 9 and z is equal to 8. So our x is unknown, so we're gonna apply the k y squared all over z again. So it will be x is equal to 0.56 multiplied 9 squared all over 8. And our final answer is 5.67. For the joint variation is v is equal to kr squared h, and 785 is equal to k times 5 times 10. Multiply them and proceed to the next step by dividing them. 785 is equal to k times 50, and to leave the k is divide it to the left side by his own number and divide it in the right side, like 785 all over 50, and our k will be 15.7, and our constant of variation is v is equal to 15.7 r squared h. And the next one is 904.32 is equal to 15.7 times r squared times 8. So, after multiplying them again, proceed to the next step, will be dividing it. 904.32 is equal to 125.6 times r squared. To leave the r squared alone, we'll divide it by itself. But to the right side, we'll divide it by 904.32 divided by 125.6. After that, to get the final answer is by square rooting it. We'll cancel the squared to the r is by putting a square root and cancelling them. And the square root is 7.2. And our final answer is going to be 2.68.
I hope you had fun learning math, especially learning the 4 types of variation with us. Come back and subscribe for more videos.